So my birthday is in a few days, and usually for my birthday I like to make myself a handmade dress. Something that I don't consider as like a casual piece that I'll wear all day, but something that just sparks joy and something that I feel is more of like a special occasion, like for a birthday. So today I'm going to be using this beautiful rainbow linen from Blackbird Fabrics. So I started off this video wanting to make a birthday dress for myself, and I started to actually make it and film it and wanted to share it with you. One thing that people don't really tell you about making projects, especially when you're trying to make them in a time crunch, when something doesn't go right or when things aren't turning out the way that you expected them to, it kind of puts a halt in the project. And for me, I immediately want to step back and be like, nope, this is not right. I need to either figure out how to fix it or find something new. Basically, I was trying to make a 3-tiered gathered dress out of this beautiful rainbow check prism fabric from Blackbird Fabrics, and something about it just, I don't know if it's because it's a beautiful fabric, but something about with the pattern and the way that I was trying to use it wasn't going right. I had successfully made these beautiful like zigzag channels. So on one side it is a zigzag stitch, but then I lined it with a yarn so that I can so easily gather it up, and it worked great. When I got onto my body, it looked terrible. I know that I have to kind of step back and kind of view it as, okay, that doesn't work. What can work? And as of right now, I have an idea for this fabric, but it is not the time for it. So unfortunately, beautiful, beautiful fabric, you'll be put into storage once again. I am oh so sorry. Now, onward. What I have is this blue printed check. This is a thrifted bedsheet. I love making thrifted bedsheet projects, and I found this one. This I think is like a queen. There is quite a bit of fabric, so I do have the option. Yep. Can you go get a plate for me?
Yeah.
So we do have the option of using this, and I do have a project specifically in mind for this. Are you ready for lunch?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. We are going for a gathered bodice, full skirt, and then in the back, I want to try to see if I can make it like a fully adjustable dress, so where I can have a little bit of wiggle room, whether I want the dress to be a little bit tighter fitting or a little bit looser. But instead of the wrap dress happening in the front and creating a V-neck, I want the wrap dress to happen at the back, so that the front is a straight line at the front, so the back will crisscross, and then there will be a loop that will go, oh.
Mom,
Okay. And so that the back will then go around, tie at the waist, so that I can be cinched in or let out whatever I need for that day. But I think that will be the best option. With this gathered bodice, I do need to make a base for it to go onto, so that will be the first part, is drafting the base to then pin all of the gathers onto. Alright? So this is my body form. It is not an exact same size to me, but this one is close enough to where, especially for an adjustable dress, I can drape on a bodice and have it fit me fairly well enough that with a little bit of wiggle room via the wrap, I should be totally okay to draft on the bodice to this. Okay, now I'm going to create 2 darts at the front as well as up here, just to create the perfect shape that I will need to then attach all of the ruched fabric on for the outer layer. And I also like to mark down the center line. This is the rough draft. I'm going to take it off, clean it up, and then put it onto some good fabric, and then I will be right back with the finished bodice base. You know what I mean? Ta-da! Now I'm able to add on all of the ruffling to this piece and then continue on with the rest of the bodice. From the top to the bottom is 12 inches. So I'm going to go 24 inches from top to bottom at the widest point, which would be the bust, which is 19, and I'm gonna add 2 more inches on the sides. So let's go 21. So 21 by 24 is the piece that is going to be ruched onto this base. So I have my piece, I'm going to find the center, match it up with the center of this bodice, and then I'm going to attach them good sides together so that it will have a very nice finish so that I can just drape it on and have everything ready to go. So now that this is sewn on and I have a really nice edge here, all I'm going to do is just start by doing little pin tucks and pinning it as I go. Now that all of these gathers are pinned on, I'm going to delicately take it off of the body form and pin it flat and kind of even everything out where I see fit just before I sew it onto the base bodice. We have the front of the bodice completed. I did a few little stitches here and there to keep it the way that I want it to be, because every time I took it off the body form, they would kind of go out of shape. So now, going on to the back. I've cut out 2 sets of these triangles. Triangles are going to cross over to the other side of the body, to here. I'm going to have ties attaching to these pieces and then a hole on one of the sides so that I can wrap it around and tie it around the waist. I cut out another set of these triangles so that I can have them double-sided. So what I'm going to do now is just sew along the top edge of this angle here. Good morning. It is one day before my birthday and we are going to try to finish this dress as fast as we can. So currently we are holding at a wonderful 61 degrees Fahrenheit. We have all of the cats in the house, so we're a little cramped in here. So today we are going to finish the bodice and attach the skirt. I'm hoping that I can do this fairly quick and have it in time for tomorrow. The unfortunate thing about making dresses for my birthday is that I know that my birthday is in January and it is very cold, so the dresses that I make probably should be a little bit like more warm. Yeah, I probably should just stick to like making sweaters for myself for my birthday just because it's cold weather adjacent, but I really like making dresses, so we're gonna continue going on with this and then just put tons of layers underneath and over top until I feel comfortable. I have the majority of the bodice done. This is ready. What I can do now is I'm going to measure out the length of what I want the dress to be. Because this already has a really nice edge like most bed sheets do, I'm going to try to keep this edge and see how much fabric I need to drop the skirt. I just lay it out on my body, connecting it to my waist, and then see where I want the hem to reach. And now we can cut out the skirt. So now that I have my bias tape nice and long, I'm going to cut it in half and use it to go along one of the triangle edges all the way around up to the bodice front and then up and over, and then I can pin it in place for where it needs to be once I try it on. Just sewing on top of this bias tape by closing off the strap as well as the folded over edge of the bias tape. So for the waistband, I folded it in half and ironed it. I'm going to fold it the reverse way, sew down an angle here so that I can clip the excess and turn it inside out and have a really nice finish for the ties. The length of this waistband is roughly 120 inches. Once I have the centers lined up, I'm going to open up the waistband and then sew the waistband open like this to the right side of the bodice. piece is going to attach to the back of the bodice that is going underneath the other layers. It just needs to be there for security, and the pocket into the back under piece as well as the side of the giant skirt piece. So now to attach it, I'm just going to sew down with my seam allowance and continue down this way, and then also afterwards go around the pocket. So I have my long strip that's going to make up the skirt. The technique that I wanted to try out in the beginning of this video being the zigzag stitch and the yarn gathering it all up. All you need for this technique is a zigzag stitch and a ball of yarn, and you are going to zigzag over top of the yarn strand in between each of the needle points as it goes through, so that way the yarn is not punctured and can then pull the fabric together to create the gathers. This is as much as I can do for tonight. I'm getting too tired, and we will continue this tomorrow. Happy birthday to me. The house is currently holding at 61 degrees Fahrenheit. Outside we are at a negative 16 degrees Celsius, but it feels like negative 29. I don't know how I'm gonna work on this dress today when my hands feel like icicles, but we're gonna try to make it work. If you can't tell, we've got an old house, and sometimes the pipes like to freeze up, so I've got my work cut out for me today to kind of try to manage the house as I'm here. So we're gonna hope that we can get some more work done today. Okay, so now that we are in the warmer part of the house, we now have to derobe to try this on. I'm gonna keep this one on. Okay, so this is currently how the bodice is fitting. I really like the fit of it. It feels very good, very movable. Usually my skirts are just very evenly gathered and put onto the bodice. What I'm thinking is that I kind of want to do something a little bit different. I really love this picture of Grace Kelly, and I know that it's an evening dress and this is more of like a casual dress. Love the shape that it has, and I want to try to emulate that onto this perhaps. So if we're flat on this side and then we have just like a ton of gathers on this hip, I think that makes like a really interesting silhouette. So let's try this out. I think that going with more of a straight side and then more of a gathered side, and then having the back also just a nice even gather, will be pretty cute. So I think I can now take this off, put on my warm clothes, and then we can get to putting it all together. Just like a very fancy apron. What I originally was going to do was just sandwich this underneath and then do a folded edge and then do a top stitch over top. Easier option. Take my skirt piece and lay it on top of that folded edge. And then I'm just going to serge across this edge so that I have a nice clean edge and my waistband is still upright like this. So that is what I'm going to do. I did a line of serging across here. So now, hopefully, I can take out. And I'm going to do another line of stitching around here. And then we should be all good to go. Now the waistband, the skirt, and the bodice are all attached together. So what I'm going to do is fold the skirt up towards the waistband. And I'm going to do a top stitch on top of everything at the same time finishing off the waist tie with just a top stitch to hide the serged edge. Alright, I lied. The last thing that has to happen is adding in a buttonhole so that I can thread the strap from the back side through to the front to wrap around like you would an actual wrap dress. So I tried it on myself, found where the point has to pass through from the front, and I put a little pin. So now I'm just going to go on my machine, get my buttonhole ready, and then it is all set. I am going to do one test before I go because I usually have really bad luck with buttonholes, so we're gonna do that first. Okay, we're done. All right, let's get ready for the final reveal. Oh shoot, hold on. First personal project of the year down, and I'm so happy with how this turned out. I think that the bodice is just what I wanted. I just wanted a little bit of texture across the front. I love the fit of it. I can pull it as tight or loosen it up as much as I want, which was very handy when we went out to dinner and my eyes were way bigger than my stomach. And I just subtly loosened it up, took a nice deep breath, and then retied it, and I'm good to go. I really recommend you trying it out for yourself. Obviously, I like to self-draft my patterns. Maybe one day I'll be able to make patterns that I can provide for other people, but as of right now, these patterns are for me, and you can always try to do it too. I am completely self-taught. It is not a hard skill to learn, it just takes a lot of practice. I'm so happy with how this turned out. I hope you like this video. 2025. Really excited to just experiment, have fun, especially playing a lot more with my own style and fashion. I have so many ideas, so I hope you stick around. You can subscribe, ring the bell, like, comment, and share, and until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye. Okay, so we are back from... Hi.
Cut.
Pin, tuck.
Oh,
There you go.
pin. I thought you said pin tuck.
I did say pin, tuck.
Not pin tuck.
What are you trying to say?
Pin tuck.
Pin, tuck.
Pin tuck. Pin